So I want to do a reading today on what your guardian angels want to tell you. I'm looking around. I was going to use maybe like pick an object, but we'll use like these. We'll use some of this deck. Alright. What your guardian angel want to tell you. Okay. Here are the 3 cards. Thank you so much for picking out 3 guardian angels. So we have pile number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay. So, hello, pile number 1. All right, what do they want you to know? I'm seeing an image of an older man, and he's the kind of guy that is hard to read. He keeps his emotions, his feelings close to him, and he doesn't showcase his feelings on his face a lot. He kind of looks like a working man, like maybe in his 50s, maybe older or younger, but his face looks like kind of worn a little bit. You know, like he's worked a very labor-intensive job, kind of like a farmer, like really a traditional old school farmer, you know, like back before industrialization. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. And he's more of just observing. So again, like the energy is hard to read. It doesn't really feel intense. It's more of just that he's watching. We have the priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? For some of you, I'm being drawn to the serpent. And in this image, for me, what it's representing is a trial, like an internal trial that feels based in the physical world. Like if you've had financial setbacks, or even if it's financial success, but it's this hyper focused or even hypersensitive towards finances or some sort of material object or material things. And like with the hypersensitivity, it's also about like the fluctuations of whether you have it or you don't, or how someone might be perceiving you if you have it or you don't. And it feels like it's been invading your energy. Like these thoughts or belief systems, they're not part of your core beliefs, but it was imprinted on you heavily at some point in your life. Like for the majority of you, it's years in the making, and it feels like you kind of tried to suppress it. Like you try. The vision I'm getting is like it's kind of being cloaked over. So even though on the surface you can't see it, that serpent is hiding beneath the cloth. And you're getting to a point now where you're being asked to step into your true self and step into your power. Step into your truth of you need to protect your space. You need to protect your mind and who you truly are. So it feels like gates are opening up for you. It's like this opportunity, this clean and clear opportunity for you to shed that serpent, like shed the skin of the serpent and renew and reborn yourself without this heavy energy on you anymore, like this negativity on you anymore. And so your guardian angels are coming through with that message that you're coming to this point where it's very important for you to safeguard yourself, safeguard your energy, and take this new opportunity for you. I'm seeing, as I was speaking about this, I can still see this man. I'm going to call him a farmer. And this could be your guardian angel or passed away loved one who's serving as such. It could also be a representation of that work and that grit and that perseverance that you need to embody. It's like do or die, you know? A traditional farmer, they didn't just do it for, income or a hobbyist. Like, they had to do it precisely in order to survive. And that's where I'm seeing you guys. Like, this has to be done in order for you to survive. Emotionally and mentally, spiritually, like, this has to take place. So they're asking you, like, it doesn't even feel like an asking. It's kind of like a light push on you, on your spirit of like taking that step, taking that leap. You know, this is your time, this is your moment. What I'm also noticing in this image is how there's a light source coming from, it's coming from her lower abdomen. So this could indicate a pregnancy and honoring and protecting your pregnancy. This could also indicate what I see is a tree of life, like the tree of life, and it's sourced from your abdomen, your lower abdomen. So it's like you have all the potential and all the energy and all the like life force within you in order to make this extremely explosive impact in your life. Like, that's a message for someone that you are creating a legacy, you know, or if this is something that you desire, that you feel is your calling, to have children, to have a family, to foster children, like, then this is something that's within you, and all these external circumstances that need to be cleansed from you, like, to get rid of that now, because your moment is coming up, your opportunity is coming up, and you need to set yourself up for success. Okay, we have the Two of Air. Pretending there is no problem. That's where you've been. Five of Air. Learning what you can from this situation. This is about being a team player. So you're moving into a healthier space in your life, is what they're saying. Like, we're pushing you into this gateway, and it's up to you to walk towards it, but it's opening for you. So what's your choice, is what they're saying. Like, you have the choice to do this, because you've been in this place where it feels combative, right? Like, you've either been just at war with yourself, potentially with other people, whether it's, it doesn't matter what created that conflict, but it's kind of like, it's like when I talked about that gateway, right? It's like that gateway was already presenting itself, and you and this other person or energy, like we'll say whatever kind of conflicting energy was distracting you, you're fighting in front of the gateway. So it's like the path is open and ready and available for you, but you just have to kind of step back from that situation. It's this distracting situation, and say, you know what, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this for me anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I want a new start, is really what it feels like. It's like, I want a fresh start, and I'm ready for that. Like, I'm ready to start over, and just like clean everything out that doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't do anything good for me right now. And this is essentially what I see with this big butterfly, and you see these little fairies. That's kind of what I see for you, is like, the words I'm getting is like hitching a ride. Like, you can hitch a ride on the backs of your guardian angels. They're saying, like, just hop on and go. You don't have to necessarily have a set plan for yourself. It's that intention that you're setting forth. That true intention, and actually putting it into practice, right? It's one thing to feel that and want that, desire that. It's another to actually essentially create a contract with yourself, right? Like, you can't break that with yourself. You're honoring yourself. You're making it a legally binding thing. And so it's kind of like holding yourself responsible, right? And understanding the full consequences of if you don't hold yourself accountable for this new change in your life. They're saying they want you to know that everything's happened for a reason. They're saying everything has been done for a reason. And so it's not about thinking that you've wasted any time, or that you feel any sort of guilt for anything, because guilt is kind of like a barometer of your goodness, right? Like, it's a good thing to feel guilty about things, because that gives you the ability to recognize what you do or do not want to continue to have in your life. and you can make adjustments from there. So we have at the bottom the Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, and change your life now. And this one was poking out. It's a star, Archangel Jophiel. And when I see Archangel Jophiel, for me, it's about cleaning your space. And so I see that repetition with the things that I was saying, of really clearing things out internally and externally. So it says, happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You're on the right path. And we have the Empress, which can also indicate a pregnancy. This could also just be the birth of a new life for you, right? Or new opportunities. But I feel a deep nurturing feeling coming from this Empress. And we have the Four of Fire, which can also indicate a loving and healthy relationship. This in particular says contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project. Oh my goodness. And we have Ace of Water, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. And that links all the way back to the beginning where we have the Priestess, right? How are you being called up to step up and lead? And the High Priestess, I call her the High Priestess, but that's a lot about your intuition as well, right? And so this change, these adjustments that you're making in your life, I feel you intuitively know this, but there's probably some fear or question, like, you know, just kind of like trying to rationalize things like, oh, if I let go or if I make these adjustments, what's the guarantee, right? Like, what's the guarantee that things are going to change for me? Like, what's the guarantee that it's going to lead to where I feel it should or where I feel I deserve it to be? And maybe there could be some self-limiting beliefs that even hold you back, right? That keep you readjusting back into this conflict energy. And so here they're indicating, like your guardian angels are indicating, like, put that work in, make those commitments, think positively, think the best of the situations and let it unfold, because it's fated, right? The star is really, for me, about fated decisions and connections, right? And what I mean by a fated decision is like that decision that you make was meant to happen for you in this life. Like, you were meant to do that. You were meant for that, like, particular thing to happen. Like, that was promised to you to complete that in this lifetime. And this is such beautiful energy. So if you're looking for anything that feels so celebratory and peaceful and loving and safe and inviting, they're telling you that this is what's coming for you. This is what's happening for you. If you will just take the initiative, you have to take that step. You have to make that choice. That's your biggest. It's not a lesson. It's not anything like that. It's just that's what they're saying. It's like, you have to put the work in. Don't hold yourself back out of concern for the what ifs, or like anything that you might, it's like this fear of letting go because you don't know what's on the other end of it. You don't know what this change is going to bring you. Where you're at right now is somewhat predictable, but you can feel it within you that you're tired of it. Like, you're tired of whatever you're feeling or thinking or going through. You want that change. And so they're saying, like, do that. Facilitate that change for you, because You're going to be extremely, extremely happy because you're going to be rewarded, right? Like you are rewarding yourself essentially by releasing control of the situation, allowing it to flow, and you're going to be really happy, okay? That's essentially what we're getting here. I feel drawn to pull this and this. Oh my gosh. Double. Okay. Yeah. So where I see here, it's absolute confirmation, where you've been in this cyclical nature of feeling like things aren't going to work out for you, or having this like little internal battle or fear. And it's not what I'm hearing for some of you guys, this specific message of it's not about you. Like, this is not about you. Don't blame yourself, or don't hold yourself responsible. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. She looks pregnant here. I'm just feeling this energy really quick. And I feel this feeling of disbelief, where you had prophecy of your future or of your desires, and it's almost too much to carry, thinking, I want this so bad. When will it happen for me? Is it gonna happen for me? How is it gonna happen for me? You know, and it's like envisioning it and desiring it and manifesting it and committing your mind to it and your energy to it. But there's tangible physical steps that you need to take. Then you have to take an honest look at and say, these are the adjustments that I need to make. These are the things that I need to do. Because it's right there. It's right there for you. So that's what I see for you guys. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. So, what do your guardian angels want to tell you? Okay, I'm getting this image of this woman. She's a younger African American woman. She's probably in her 20s, maybe 30s, and she's clapping her hands. She's like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, come on, come on. And she's encouraging these kids, like she's a school teacher. She's like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's what I'm getting. So, I wonder what this means. Maybe just kind of like, that could be a specific message for someone, but it also, I feel, means like to focus, like it's time to focus and give attention to something in your life. Let's see. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Feels like a vision. Feels like a dream, a vision. It's time for you to really recognize who you are. It's time for you to really see yourself as this light being, this child of the light, child of God. Like, these stars look like aliens to me, like spaceships. It's like you are getting this information download, like visions. It feels heavily in your dream state. So like you're getting visitations from beings from other places. I feel a rushed energy though. And again, that image of this woman saying, let's go, and the kids rushing by. Let's see. It's like you're a leader, right? Like it feels like it's like you stepping up to lead something or someone or groups of people, and it feels so deeply connected, right? Like this, like this beam that's coming from above the card is penetrating through her into the earth, below the earth, into this water. And so it feels like your energy is so in tune and precise, and these light beings are observing you doing this, like elevating yourself and leading, and it feels very powerful. Okay, so we have awakening, Nine of Earth, that's Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, both two very powerful archangels serving for the Lord. As I've said, it's like you are this child of God, this light being. These are extraordinarily powerful. A time of positive change. Just feels, even this oceanic vibe that I'm getting is very watery, and yeah, not necessarily in the emotional sense, like, you know, in tarot with the cups and all that. It's not in that way. It feels almost like the power of Mother Nature, the forces of nature are on your side, are within you. It's like you recognizing and realizing just how powerful you are and what you can do with those abilities. Like, where can you concentrate your energy? Because it feels like maybe before you're kind of, it would almost be like the magician. So you're going from the magician to the emperor, where you're kind of playing with all the elements. You're trying to kind of see how it all works for you. And now you're at this point in your life where it almost feels accidentally putting it all together, and like a chemist, and then something extraordinary happens and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize I had all the elements here to create this powerful thing, right? Like an atomic bomb. I didn't realize I was able to do that. So what next? Like, what do I do with this? And that's where I'm seeing this going. But also paying attention. I'm paying attention to the red flags. And it feels like almost it's a red flag of yourself. Like, you don't allow yourself to get out of control, is what I'm saying. Is like, you are so intelligent and, again, powerful. Make sure to use your powers wisely. Like, make sure to use it for good. And you're going to be really successful with whatever it is that you're working on, or whatever it is that you're doing or discovering. You're going to be very successful at this, because even with this is saying successful self-employment right there. Like, you're going to be successful with whether this is a self-employment literally, or if this is saying just evaluating the new things that are coming into your life. You're going to be very, very, very in tune and very, very capable. It's like capable of seeing all sides of situations. So I'm saying, like, you're going to be able to look at things. It just feels like a maturation of your mind. And things are just going to look so different for you. And the way I'm seeing her, it's almost like a crocodile. You know, she can live on the surface, on land, and she can live within the water. So it feels like you're really... It's sneaky too. I'm not sure. I don't want sneaky to sound bad. I don't know a better word for that right now, but it's like elusive, right? Like powerfully elusive. And like able to just kind of navigate all kinds of different terrain. And they're ancient creatures, right? Alligators, maybe crocodiles, I don't know. Another powerful card. Spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. I just feel like he's like swirling it around, and it's connected to the cross specifically in this one. So it must have something to do with, for a lot of you, maybe not all of you, but it must have a lot to do with like traditional Christianity, something like that. So it feels like for quite some time you guys were in this balancing point, right? Like you were kind of because I see clean it up and a leg up, and they're both in reverse. And to me, it's this refusal of wanting to clean things up in your life, or wanting to seek help out from mentors, or to see things in a different way, right? It's almost like a comparison that I can make, that I'm seeing as an example, is for me, where I've had visions all my life. I've kind of just dealt with it, but I'm very much like in the 3D. The word's slipping from my mind right now, but it's like I'm just like, I get intellectual, and I can't think of the word, but it's like I want to rationalize everything. I'm like always trying to rationalize everything and intellectually look at things intellectually. And spirit, you know, spiritual beliefs and faith, that conflicts the real world in a lot of ways, right? Faith is really believing in something that's not, you can't see, you can't really necessarily prove in some ways. And so there was a point in my life where I had to come to terms with that. I had to come to terms with it, because I was always trying to rationalize the spiritual nature of myself and the spiritual side of myself. I was always trying to do it, and it would lead me into such frustrating circumstances, because vision after vision, like proof, which, I mean, it was proof of like some ability, but I would always just like I don't know, there was always something that I would just give myself an excuse about, or I'd be like, okay, well, I'm right about that. Well, who knows? Like, it was always something. And it wasn't until I really, like, gave in. Honestly, there was a vision I had. I'm wondering if maybe that's why I'm being called to tell this story, is because it was so, a calling so deep within me to take certain steps in my life. It was to the point that I couldn't rest. And it was just so intense. So I followed through with it, and it eventually led me to a vision that completely transformed my life. That was when I finally decided, like, I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to accept it because I can see now, I understand now. It pushed me to that point. And, you know, the trajectory to where I'm at now and where I'm continuing to go, there's always that up and down, right? Like, sometimes I still fall back into question. Sometimes I have to, like, recalibrate myself. But I always seem to be, like, able to catch myself again and truly fall back onto faith and move up the ladder, like moving up, and improving on myself, spiritually speaking. And so it kind of feels here that there's somewhere in your life where you are feeling this refusal of accepting something in your life, or accepting help, or accepting the truth of something. And once you accept that, once you release that control over that and trying to make sense of it, I think that's where you were. I don't think that maybe some of you are there now, but I think the majority of you, that's where you were. And here, everything I just said before of, like, fate really stepping in and this drastic spiritual change within you, and these light beings observing you, really channeling your power in a way that's hopefully beneficial for all. Like, that's where you're at right now. So I think this is more of an indication of where you were, like, just to confirm that. Because as you started accepting these things, as you started to essentially clean up shop, you know, and I kind of get with this moose, is like, the dust had to settle. Like, as you were trying to clean it up, it kind of made things more messy, seemingly more messy, because all the dust was just poofing up everywhere, and it was almost seemed like it was not worth the trouble. And yet it kind of feels like fate stepped in, was like, no, you need to keep doing this. And like, I see the stars poking through here, where it's like, no matter what, it's kind of the same thing with me, is like that trajectory. Like, no matter your transgressions, which is normal in the human experience, right? Of, like, doubt, fear, sadness, anything at all, or temptations maybe. It's like, no matter what transgression, it's the point of like, redeeming yourself, I guess, is kind of, or the word that I'm getting is repent, right? Which is like to turn away from. So it's like you turn away from fear, you turn away from doubt, you turn away from all of that. And you just kind of sit right with your heart, sit right with your soul. And So that's what I see, is that you're being watched over. I think that's one of the biggest messages. Your guardian angels are indicating that we're really observing you. And there's a lot of us that are watching you. We're seeing what you're doing with these elements. We're watching what you're going to do with all of this. We're very interested in that. So there's not much here about like what's to come for you. I feel like it's a lot in your hands right now. And probably everyone's different. But the biggest message here is that we're watching. Like, we're interested to see what you're going to do next here. So that's what I see for you guys. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hey everyone. So this is going to be for pile number 3. I'm hearing, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Just kind of like pay attention. So we have Jovial. It's like pay attention to your work. Pay attention to your life. Jovial, a false sense of enchantment, being overly focused on material, negative, or fear-based thoughts. What I see with this is that you've been surrounded by people with this type of ego. You've been surrounded by people who have a false, it's like a defeatist attitude, false sense of enchantment, overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. And I'm seeing that you are this guardian angel to these people. So I feel like your guardian angels are indicating like this is part of your purpose in life, and purpose right now is to recognize this in other people, or like the people surrounding you, and to be that supportive person, or like that breath of fresh air that doesn't like heavily rely on those same principles. Like you're not someone who is, you don't wear a lot of masks around these people, or as many as they do. And your purpose is to really enlighten and empower people for who they truly are, and to be able to see them for who they truly are and appreciate them for who they truly are. And for them to be able to see that in another person. Like, hey, this person is authentically themselves. They're comfortable with being who they are. And that makes me feel safe to explore who I truly am. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So for some of you, I see this going in 2 different directions. For one set, or this could also be a combination, is that you were at one point someone who was closed off, or you're someone who, wore a lot of false masks, right? And you evolved from that, you changed from that. And so that's kind of how, one way you're easier to identify other people around you who are doing that, because you've come from that same place. Another thing is that it's very challenging for you to be surrounded by people like this, because you crave authenticity. You crave people who are just open and vulnerable and loving and themselves, because it's kind of like, I'm hearing like you don't want to play games. Like you don't want to be having to go like jump through hoops just to see who someone truly is. And what I'm hearing is that this is essentially like building character for you. This is building like a tough exterior so that you can, it's kind of like just kind of developing thick skin. where you won't be taking people's treatment personally necessarily, because you understand that they're not even being themselves. So how can you take what they say in earnest when that's not even what they truly mean? Like, you're able to really perceive who they truly are. You get what I'm saying? And so, for some of you, it's not necessarily. Basically, you can really see people for who they are. And, you know, over time with people and like that exhaustion of dealing with people who are kind of like, I heard scammers just now. So it's like people who are kind of like seemingly like scamming you, or like they're presenting themselves as someone that they're not, that you'll come to that realization, or you are coming to that realization that I don't have to take that personally, because they're not comfortable even exploring who they truly are. So how can I have expectations set on them to treat me a certain way when they're not even treating themselves with full respect, right? Because I feel like truly respecting yourself, it's very difficult to do sometimes, especially in like this society where, you know, you have to present yourself in certain ways in order to be accepted. You know, it's a gradual shift that we're coming through, you know, in the world of like truly being who we are, right? And being comfortable in that. And so you're part of that. You're part of that process. You're part of that teaching for others. It's about to storm, so it's getting a little dark in here. So we have the Page of Earth, Six of Fire, Four of Air. Oh, there's another one. Strength. You bring a lot of people peace, is what I'm getting. Even if they don't show their appreciation and maybe even don't recognize how appreciative they should be for you, I feel like for some instances there's going to be circumstances where it's like but it's going to be too late for people. It's like when they mature, they're going to realize, wow, like that person was really a star in my life. That was a turning point in my life. That was a saving grace in my life. And I didn't recognize it. Like, I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't know any better at the time. But now that I'm at a better place in my life, I realize what a relief that was to have someone like that around me. And I'm getting this message for some of you, a lot of you actually. That someone finds you enchanting and alluring. They kind of want to give you, like, they want to give their power away to you. You know what I mean? Like, when you really, really like someone, it's like, I will do whatever you want. Like, you just say the word. You just tell me what you want. And they find you very mysterious. And so there's someone crushing on you. It feels almost like Cupid's arrow, like heart eyes, like they're looking at you with heart eyes, like they've been struck by Cupid. And it feels guided by your guardian angel, so this must be a special connection for you guys. Some of you, it feels like a workplace situation, or like, if it's not work, then it's like a casual thing, right? Like it's a casual connection that you have with another person, and your guardian angels are coming through and, first of all, honoring your strength, honoring your courage, honoring your reserve when things test you. Like when you feel tested, it feels like you've been working on, or you're maybe naturally this way, but I think a lot of you have been working on really like toning it down, staying calm, evaluating the situation before speaking on it and speaking on your feelings. And it's just a lot of inner work that's been going on. And they're saying whatever decision that you're considering, just give it some time, give it some rest, give it a moment for you to really just tone down all the emotions that are surrounding this, and any kind of clutter and confusion that's going on in your mind, because it feels like if you kind of like take a step back, then if it involves another person, they're going to come forward. Like that's going to give them the space to be like, oh, okay, I need to just like say something, or I just need to be open about it. I need to talk about this, because if I don't, they're gonna leave. They're gonna be over it. So what it feels like is they're saying like if you, again, it's this feeling of isolation, like being left out, or feeling like almost like, well, what did I do wrong? Like I've been myself, I've been open, I've done everything seemingly right. Is that not enough? And that's all coming to an end. Like this feeling that, you know, with the poised being reversed, it's to me clear cut of the opposite of being poised. It's you falling off of your pedestal, you trying to reach for something and feeling like you just can't even. It's like being called up for first place, winner, and then falling up the podium stairs, like, and you can't even get up there. It's like, great, like that would happen to me. And so is this what's coming for you is you not feeling alone anymore. You not feeling almost like alone at a party. It's like you're not going to be the only one celebrating. You're not going to be the only one at the party. You're not going to be the only one who sees things a certain way, and then it feels like everyone around you doesn't understand or can't relate. So you're going to be able to be around people who are loyal to you. You're going to be able to feel like you are blessed. You are going to feel like you have a support system around you that appreciates you for who you truly are, because you've been putting in the work of exploring who you are and presenting yourself to the world as who you truly are. And so don't lose hope. Don't lose your spark, your innocent nature, your beautiful, mysterious nature, because I'm getting this image of a marble, like being, it's like if you were a little toy and then a marble being flicked and like knocking you down. And it's like, what are the odds of being able to do that? And it's from the perception of the child and being so excited. So it's like your guardian angels are guiding you towards something that's going to feel like a chance opportunity, or like a chance relationship, or a chance talking, or, you know, like a communication with someone or a meeting. And it's like that feeling of what are the odds of this happening? You know, it's going to feel like a lightning bolt for you and be like, oh my gosh, it's like kind of like, how did this ever happen for me? But you're going to have that steadiness within you, like that feeling within you of like, I knew this was going to happen. Like I knew it was fated for me. Like I knew it was meant to happen. Mostly not just because you saw this video and you believe it, but it's like internally, this is just reassuring you, right? Like you already feel this, or you will be feeling this. So when it happens, it's like, relief, like it's time. I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't expect it to be. It's kind of like I didn't actually expect it to, but I knew it would happen. You get caught off guard, essentially. Let me see another card. And Empress. I felt like pulling another card. So we have the Empress. Be really, really proud of yourself. Be really proud of yourself, because your guardian angels are really celebrating you. They're very proud of you as well. You know, I think if you're looking for communication, or you're looking for some sort of like honest relationship or honest movement, something that needs to be without ego, without masks, you're gonna get it. You're definitely gonna get it, and you've been feeling that for sure. So that's what I see for you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.